Hello and welcome everyone to the January 2nd episode of This Week in Kirkland, the official podcast of the City of Kirkland, bringing you timely topics and noteworthy news delivered to you every week. I'm your host, Jim Lopez, one of two deputy city managers here at the city, joined today by two members of our podcast team.
Anthony Girardi.
And David Wolbrecht.
And I guess I should have said the January 2nd, 2025.
New Year, same podcast.
New year. But is it the same podcast?
A little different.
Oh, yeah.
Kate's not with us today.
Yeah, and we don't have a guest. We're going to do a kind of a fun...
Yeah.
Special New Year's in review and look ahead.
It's Twic Light. We're, same fresh flavor, but fewer calories.
We're going to call it... we're gonna call it This Year in Kirkland.
I like it. All right.
Very good.
Kind of year in review.
It's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So you reflect back before you carry on into the new year, right?
This year in Kirkland.
There we go.
All right. Now, but first, we have a couple of brief announcements because we got to do that, right?
It's true.
David, what do we got coming up?
Well, so coming up at the January 7th City Council meeting, on the business agenda, Council will consider adopting the 6-year Transportation Improvement Plan. They'll also consider adopting updates to the Fire Code.
Yes, and prior to the business agenda, the study session will include discussions on compliance with state middle housing laws and an update on the Houghton Village development, which I'll be a part of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Great.
Also, next weekend, WashDOT will be closing Northeast 85th Street at I-405, including the on and off ramps.
Got to pay
Big
attention
closure.
to that.
Yeah, it was like a full-on closure.
Yeah, so starting Friday, January 10th at 11 p.m. until the wee hours of Monday, January 13th, 85th Street and both on and off ramps close. So just plan ahead, use detours that weekend because it'll be a little chaotic.
And we will have some information in the show notes on that.
Yeah. Link to WashDOT's page. So it's important to note 405 will stay open.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
So
just
it's
the
just
85th.
going. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, with those announcements complete, we head into our special episode.
This year.
Year in Kirkland.
In
There we
Kirkland.
go.
Yeah, we're going to look back as we look forward. That's
Yeah,
our first look back. and then
like
we're gonna
so
look
many
forward.
do this time of year, right? We're looking back into 2024. So much has happened in the city this year. So it's obviously we can't cover it all, but
And it's not meant to be like we kind of sat around and ruminated
sure.
a little bit about some of the things that stood out to us in 2024. And we kind of broke it down into categories.
We did. We found some overarching themes. To connect some things here.
Yeah, so in addition to being a time of reflection, and it certainly is that, there's also a time of gratitude. And we are very, very grateful for so many things. We're grateful for our connection and the love that we have for our city. Yep. And I'll tell you what, we do all love Kirkland. Whether we live here, work here, own a business here, visit often, or just once or twice.
Yeah, totally.
It's kind of a common
People
thread.
love it.
We usually ask our special guests on the podcast what's something they love about Kirkland.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's also something we ask our community through surveys and the like.
That's right, Jim. So one thing that we thought would be kind of interesting is, so I went back and I reviewed our community survey.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And so we conduct a community survey every 2 years. It's in spring. And this is a representative sample survey, right? So like 1,000 people responded to this survey, and that gives us a good sense of what people feel like. So when I say folks love Kirkland, I'm not just being hyperbolic here.
Yeah, no. As some of us tend to be hyperbolic.
Not naming names, Jim.
Why are you looking over here, Jim?
But seriously, nearly every resident has a positive view of life in Kirkland. And asked, what they like best about living in Kirkland, the top answers, check this out, Jim. 1, the good people in the community.
Yep.
The connection to nature, our location and accessibility, and how safe we are.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what our guests say.
Yeah.
It's
Right?
true, right?
It's always combination of
of
access to
those
the lake,
things.
the parks, the people. Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes perfect sense.
So what we thought we would do is give a quick review of some of our favorite stories that have helped make Kirkland more of what people love so much this year. Safer, more inclusive, and a welcoming community as we wrap up 2024.
Yeah, so those are the categories, right?
Safety,
And
inclusion,
being welcome.
and welcoming.
Yeah, welcoming. So here you go, my friends and dear listeners. This very special This Year in Kirkland will kind of touch upon those things that we've ruminated about 2024.
Yeah. Should we start with our highlights in safety?
Let's start with safety. You know what I love this year?
What's that?
Seeing those automated external defibrillators.
AEDs.
AEDs.
In our parks, yeah.
Yeah, they pop up in so many of our parks now. And it's such a simple addition, but knowing that they're there could save a life. And I think that's just wonderful. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They are. It's a nice little community touch. It's something we try to make as easy to use as possible. The instructions guide you through it, and Kirkland Fire has also done some partnerships this year with the Medic One Foundation to do training, so first aid training and EED usage. And so I did this class as one of the freebies.
Oh, did you really?
I did, yeah, and it was fantastic. Like they actually have the AEDs there. You can hear them instruct you through it, and so it is very easy to use. They teach you CPR as well. So
I think we need to take a minute on that point.
Yeah,
they actually do instruct you.
They do. It's a little robot, in a box talking to you, like, put the pads on, like, start compressions, stand clear, shocking patient, continue compressions again, and it tells you that. It doesn't sing the Bee Gees Staying Alive to give you the rhythm. You gotta sing that one in your head, but yeah. But
it does break down a barrier for somebody who's like, oh, that's a technology I might not know how to use.
Yeah, how do I use this, right?
The technology will help you use the technology.
Absolutely.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It just gives you those couple of, extra minutes that you need before paramedics arrive to really kind of keep somebody stable and save a life.
Yeah, and it was a big year for AEDs. I think we funded like 18.
Yeah, they're installed at various parks, and I think there's more on the way.
More on the way.
Yeah, so definitely, a lot of the field parks, where games are played and that sort of thing, getting the priority. So.
Yeah, so great one. Okay, what do you got, Anthony?
Honestly, I love our city's response to the bomb cyclone. I know, the disruption was something that had a lot of tensions high. Like, there's no perfect response to any emergency event, right? But seeing the damage, seeing downed trees and power lines, and how quickly Kirkland was able to put people out into the city and get the streets cleaned. I mean, it was great. Just driving around the area, there were other cities that did not necessarily have streets as clean, and so it was just nice seeing that quick response from Kirkland.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud of our team. I mean, we really rallied. The staff did what they needed to do. It's always a challenge through those things. Yeah, and there was power outages everywhere, and we didn't control it, as you say, Anthony. But it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. I
mean, my house was out for a long time as well. But our team really rallied, and they did, I think, a wonderful job. And I'm really appreciating hearing you say that was your experience, because they really did all from public safety to public works throughout the entire process. They really put the effort in, and it showed.
I just remember seeing photos from our first responders, so police and fire folks, let alone the public works teams, out like photos from like 3 a.m. That first night, and there's just down trees everywhere, but they're still trying to respond and responding to calls.
Yeah, keep the streets safe, because the lights were off too, right?
Yeah,
there was power outages, so you turn a corner quick and there's a down tree. Like they were doing a really good job.
Yeah, still have emergencies they got to respond to.
And there I was, in front of my gas fireplace.
Just
keeping warm.
And cozy.
Well, I had to figure out how to get it going again.
You're like, oh yeah, welcome back.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I had to look at it and go, okay, I got an open flame in front of my face, and I hear the gas going.
Right.
I don't know how this is going to end up, but
hopefully it keeps it warm. Yeah.
It did. It really worked.
It helps.
I'm proud of that.
And also just the city mobilizing and listening to residents and community members and getting the charging stations opened up in the community centers that we had. Like seeing that response from a city, it's just it fills you with that civic pride,
Yes. So you do care for each other, and I think that's a great example of it. David, what do you got?
Well, on the topic of our amazing fire department, for me, I love the grand opening of Fire Station 27.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so up in the Kingsgate area.
Really such a nice
building. It was a huge party. Like there were, I don't know, I didn't count, but it was packed. And just kids crawling on, the apparatus. It was just so much fun. But, obviously we don't just build fire stations, to throw a big grand opening celebration.
That's not the only reason?
Yeah, it's not the only reason.
I tell you, those kids love the trucks,
man.
Oh
my gosh. And we had little toy hats. And they were going like hotcakes. It was crazy. No, but this is such a critical addition to the Kirkland fire system. So this gives us another station on the east side of Interstate 405.
Yeah.
And so if you think about it, like a big earthquake, maybe, we can't cross over 405 or under like we normally can't. So this just gives us a better response in case of really big disaster. and funded by Prop 1.
Prop 1.
And so, your
Thank
tax
you,
dollars at
people.
work. Yep,
Thank you,
absolutely.
residents of the city of Kirkland.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking Kingsgate, Juanita, Totem Lake.
Yeah, improving all the response times up there. So
Yeah. And it's not just Fire Station 27, Fire Station 21 in Forbes Creek, Fire Station 22 in Houghton, 26 in North Rose Hill, and, of course, 27, all part of Prop 1.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, David. That's a great one. Okay. How about some other ones kind of we've ruminated?
I mean, talking about openings, for me, the Connections Health Center opening in Totem Lake.
Yeah.
This is such an amazing, first in the region. So it's it's run by a private business, Connections, but this is a dedicated center for mental health support. So it's like a emergency room for folks experiencing mental and behavioral health crises. Like you can just walk in and get care.
Yeah.
It's just such a critical piece to our larger health system.
And I'm so glad you mentioned the systemic approach to this generational challenge, because having the crisis center is an integral part of so much of what the city's doing now to
It's a great
address
resource.
the mental health crisis in our community, in our country. It's a place where we can take our folks. We have the Rachel program now.
Yeah.
So we have folks out there doing the work in immediate acute situations, and having a crisis center to have people to go to. From the beginning, we knew that was a critical part. So we're very, very fortunate. That's a great one. How about, I love meeting Officer Arnold.
Oh, yeah,
our
our animal control officer.
That was fun. She was on the podcast.
She was back, towards when she started back in spring. Can't believe it's been so long already.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so she just has such an amazing passion for what she does. She's out there every day connecting people with, making sure their pets are safe.
And really pushing for the licensing, right? Like this is such an important thing in Kirkland, getting your pets licensed so that they can get back to you safely if they get out.
We're going to probably have to do some pet licensing Twick podcast campaigns.
Can we make some Twick doggy bandanas?
Doggy
or cat
bandana.
bandanas. I don't.
Honestly,
Do
I
cats
think
wear bandanas?
I'm totally in.
Cats can wear bandanas.
can.
Yeah.
I'm totally in. We gotta do
Right?
something like that.
Some little pet swag.
We have to partner up with a little pet swag. Yeah, I think
Never
we got to
hurts.
do something like that. Okay, now let's weigh in favor our favorite stories for what made Kirkland a more welcoming place.
Jim?
I'll get things kicked off with really one of my favorite events every year, the 4th of July parade.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Super Bowl. And I was like, Jim, I don't
No.
understand how.
The Patriots haven't
okay.
been in
They've
a while.
been in there in a while.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry, but back.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
Kirkland.
4th of July was great this year.
Yeah.
And
Actually, it saw the three of us.
Yeah, that's right.
That wasn't why it was great, David. I mean, it helped.
No, we were out there, right?
It's
We
true.
were. We were on
out
the corner
there.
out in front of East Side Trains.
The trains.
Yeah.
If you want to find This Week in Kirkland podcast,
Capital F fun.
Yeah, capital F fun. During the 4th of July parade, come to the train store.
We
We're right there.
debuted community karaoke. It was just a fun little.
Were we not singing?
Yeah,
we were singing.
I'd like to say we created it, but really the people across the street,
street
from us
created,
created it as they were singing
Yes.
to the music that we
They-
were just playing.
It's true.
They were feeling the moment,
They were.
and we responded.
We felt it
We had,
for them.
yeah, we had we felt it for them. But the whole parade. I mean, it's just a wonderful, and it has always been a wonderful
Yeah.
parade. I mean, we're talking decades.
And this was the second year that the city has
I
been in
think
charge of running
that's
the parade.
right. The city has recently taken over the administration of the parade.
Well, and this was the
running of
25th anniversary.
it. 25th anniversary.
Not a big
The
one.
little shiny quarter.
I have to say, I don't know. I have so many favorite moments, but the dancing horses.
Yeah, that was mine.
yeah,
those are yours?
I was for sure going to be, man, the dancing horses. That was something else.
Yes, we have dancing horses in the
they
Kirkland
were.
parade. So anyway, come out to see the parade.
Always fun.
Yeah,
And you might be able to get to listen to a little impromptu podcast.
Yeah, if you come by the train station, be prepared to sing a tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have your karaoke
Have your
voice
karaoke
warmed
ready
up.
to go. Community karaoke. And speaking of community, Anthony,
So I think my favorite event was probably Community Appreciation Night.
Yeah.
We got to celebrate all of our volunteers
Yes.
that do a ton of work and good deeds here with the city, whether it be restoring, green areas and green spaces in our parks, working on senior councils, the youth council, working for, high school and youth events throughout the city. It's like we're just spending all night thanking all of the people who do a ton of work for us throughout the year. And it's a party. Like
It's a total party.
it's like a black tie event.
It is literally a black tie event. Okay, so
You were in your tux,
I
weren't you?
wear my tux.
Yeah.
I think we should do a show like this like every month. Because it's just putting a smile on my face.
The recap show?
The recap. We should recap them.
I thought you were saying community appreciation. I'm like,
Yeah,
Jim,
I was
we do
like,
not have the
starting
staff to
to
do that.
hyperventilate.
Just thinking about
Once a
all the
month.
fun things. I'm thinking about all the fun things we do. And Community Appreciation Night is a total win. We do try to model it like the Academy Awards.
We do.
We all get dressed up, and the council is so much fun.
They're singing and dancing.
They are singing and dancing in tuxedos and couture.
Yeah.
I mean, and then we model it like the Academy Awards. They come out and give a speech, and this year the mayor's going to be giving a speech. The state of the city.
Oh, that's right. We're combining the state of the city.
Yeah, it's going to
That'll be
be.
big.
It's going to be so much fun. So
this year it's in May again. Is that when we're doing it?
It's going to be in May again, and the opening number. You have to. I don't. Should I can't give it away.
Don't give it away.
Yeah.
If you want to see what we've done in the past, you can find the last 2 years on our YouTube page for the city, so you can see the musical numbers that we arranged. I think the first year was both years have been entirely original.
Original
numbers.
pieces. Yeah. And we won an award for one of them. We won a video award.
Oh,
I didn't know that, but do you remember that, Mike? I saw it. It's in my office.
It was like hometown.
No, we during the COVID year we filmed.
Oh, that was for the sing along one during
sing-along
COVID.
during COVID.
Yeah.
And we write the music here.
Yeah.
Now for this year, I'm not sure. The opening number has not been settled.
Okay.
I just don't want to create too much community speculation around rumor. The rumor mill can fire.
Yeah. It can fire up.
Yeah,
but
around the opening number.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
But
I heard Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande from Wicked were going to be
I'm
here
not
for the community appreciation.
I'm not going to admit or deny that, but I will say there's only 402 seats.
David and I look good in pink and green.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I just saw Wicked, by the way. It's great.
Oh.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
I just have it playing constantly
Do
in
you
my
really?
head. Yeah.
That's
The
right.
mayor and I.
Your top 5 Wrapped was
Oh
always.
my God, David, you're an inspiration. So, having said all that, you might want to come this year.
It's
You
going to
got
be a
dinner.
party.
Just open to the public. There's only 402 seats.
Yeah, it sells out fast. You got to
Sells
get
out
on
fast.
it when we put out that event.
We haven't sold it out yet. That's my goal.
We haven't even put tickets on
My
sale.
goal is to sell it out.
Well, when Wicked comes to Community
that's
Appreciation
right.
Night,
Oh, now I'm feeling the
it
pressure.
will sell out.
So, David, what do you got?
Gosh, it
How are you
feels
gonna
like it's
follow
hard
that?
to
How do you
match
follow
that.
Wicked?
But yeah, I would go with the Houghton Park and Play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so temporary park that we popped up, and it's gonna be there for a while until kind of whatever the permanent use of.
Yeah. Well, I'm
that
working
site
on
is.
that.
Yeah. Well, absolutely.
Well, don't work too hard,
pickleball,
Jim.
baby.
Yeah.
I'd say because I like playing pickleball there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
I
so
mean,
much fun.
there's the skate park. There's
Yeah.
pickleball. I mean, I just
the
feel like
Bike track too, or like the pump.
pump
bike
track.
Yeah.
Pump track. Such a great way to just be more welcoming, inclusive, and just really make a good use of that space while we're planning for some longer term things.
For those that don't know, this is the former Houghton Park and Ride.
Yeah.
That is now
Minor
the-
detail.
the
What are we
Houghton
talking about?
Park and
Exit
Play.
17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exit 17. It's just this fun little public community space now where you can go, and I think there's 6 pickleball courts and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah. 4.
4. All right. Is it 4?
4.
Okay, I thought it was 3 and 3. It's 2 and 2. All right.
But I'll tell you, they're really good.
Yeah.
And one of the funnest things about that for me was watching the before and after
Oh, sure.
and how they rendered it.
Totally.
The Parks Department did such a wonderful job.
Well, and I'm remiss in not mentioning my favorite feature, which is the
Oh, please
community
tell.
garden
Oh,
piece
yeah,
of it.
It
yeah.
is really nice.
I like having options for folks to grow
Yes.
food and flowers and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
So
a good
now,
thing.
in part because it's such a great success, we are now actively trying to figure out where all those amazing things go
Yeah.
when we convert the Park and Ride to its next thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right?
right. All right, more to come on
More
that.
to come on that. Okay, let's not forget our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had over
Well,
crossed-
this old thing.
This thing.
we crossed 7,500 downloads.
Wow.
That's true. We've been going strong
We've
now
been going
for,
strong.
I don't know, 18 months, something like that.
Yeah, we got a little national recognition.
Yeah. And, we're just so grateful to all our listeners, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a great email from Susan Vossler. Thank you, Susan.
Oh, thank you.
I'll be responding to that soon. It came in well, like over the new year. So,
The in-between time.
I'm catching up. But we're just so grateful that, this is such a value add to our community. So.
Yeah, we did get some really great feedback, and we always want feedback.
Absolutely.
And in fact, you can contact us a couple ways. We, on whatever platform you're listening to the podcast on, there should be a little link that says, send us a text message. You can get in touch with us.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to correspond that way. And we'd love to answer any questions you have.
Yeah.
Take suggestions, what have you.
And we do have some fun in store, course, for 2025. We're gonna do a lot. We're gonna have a lot more guests coming from the community.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Like mostly up until now, we've had
Staff member
guests, which we love.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also going to we are going to branch out and do some community stories and businesses. And so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we want the podcast to serve just as a point of human connection between the city and its community members.
And
right?
we like to make it fun so people want to come back.
So up until now, we've been introducing the city staff to you, and now we get to introduce the community members to you moving forward. So,
and if you have great ideas for the podcast,
absolutely,
send them in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're all ears.
Mm-hmm. Another thing, we can't mention welcoming or speak about something that was welcoming also without mentioning K-Tub.
K-Tub,
right?
So Kirkland Teen Union Building.
Complete remodel.
Remodeled through a grand opening, and it's just a great spot for local youths to go and just hang out and exist, right? And not have to worry about, I don't know. I remember being a kid and running around and security guards yelling at you for hanging out outside of the mall. You're like, where can I be, man?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Kirkland Teen Union Building.
Yeah,
like,
well, we have an answer to that question.
Yeah.
It's called K-Tub.
Yeah. After school programs, mental
programs.
health support. They have counselors there for youth, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and the opening was so much fun. Did you go to the opening?
I didn't, but I heard it was a party.
It was a party.
Yeah.
They had like the bottomless pit of pizza.
We're doing another open house this March,
community open house. Yeah.
Oh, another one? Okay, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I heard there was pizza.
The stage is so great. And I think they're going to have a sound studio built in there.
They are. Yeah.
This is going to be a sound studio that Mike Connor would be proud.
Yeah, a recording studio.
Getting the thumbs up.
And Mike is one of our amazing
team behind the magic. Yes.
Team technical folks here at the city. You would be proud of that, Mike. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. And the offices, everything they've done is great. Okay, K-Tub is definitely one.
For sure.
All right, and finally, let's take a minute to reflect on our favorite stories about how Kirkland is becoming more inclusive. And I can get us kicked off here.
What do you got?
I've got the Kirkland Initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. This is the sophomore year?
Year.
Sophomore class?
Second year of the Kirkland Initiative.
I guess it doesn't quite work out the same way with stuff. Anyway.
Now, the Kirkland Initiative, for those that you don't know, we've created a program at the city to foster civic engagement, leadership, and to collaborate with our residents, folks that may have an inclination to come and be on a leadership position at the city. Or just
curiosity.
Learn more. Yeah, curiosity. And it's our second year. And we're packed.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a waiting list.
So, you have a waiting list?
Yeah.
How many people are in class?
Well, we really try to limit the class to 20. Because it's more of an intimate experience.
Absolutely, yeah. That's
and
a great
we teach a lot. Honestly, and both of these classes have been so amazing. We can't get it done. It's 3 hours a week.
Wow.
And we struggle to get it done in 3 hours.
You guys are deep diving like fire and police response and seeing how those work with the city, seeing how like all of the different departments, parks and planning and accounting even.
And you meet the leaders of each of the departments.
Wow.
And the judge is fantastic. He comes. All the directors.
And so you said 3 hours a week. How many weeks?
8 weeks.
Woo.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And it's mostly taught by the city manager, Kurt Triplett, and myself.
Wow.
And we teach the system of government, how we make decisions.
Yeah.
And you learn about all the parts of government, like who runs what department, what each department does. And we try to have fun.
I've been to a few of the graduations that you guys have done just to help do some photos and video. And everybody there is like so captivated and engaged by the end of it. And that 8th week,
Yeah.
like you could tell that they're fired up about local government. Which is great to see, right?
Yeah.
It's like, they're like, I didn't realize this is how this all worked, right? All these little moving pieces.
Yeah.
But it is. It's like, it's this kind of like Rube's Goldberg machine of city government.
And that's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
And Anthony, you were so kind because at the very first graduation that we had of the Kirkland Initiative, I decided on the spot that I wanted to give a lecture to music. So poor Anthony was there to take photos and memorialize the event. And I'm like, could you rig this up so that we could play a piece of music?
Yeah, we made it work.
You remember? We made it work.
work.
We made it work. But you were very gracious.
Well, anytime you have an idea, Jim, I love to be the wind in your sails.
That's right. We pulled it off.
We did.
Now, we have a full class in the spring.
Oh my gosh!
And we
already?
have a wait list. So, but we did 2 classes. We did it in the fall.
Yeah, and then you're doing another one.
We're
really
doing it
quick.
in the spring,
Okay.
but we're only going to do it once a year.
Yeah.
So the next class, if you're interested, we're taking applications for 2026.
Wow.
Okay, well, thank you, Professor Lopez.
Yeah, that's right. The singing
early.
professor.
No tucks and tails with
No
this.
tucks and tails at this. Yet.
Yeah. That sounds like a challenge.
Yeah.
Well, I would have to say, I think my event that I liked, I loved City Hall for All this year.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we did it even bigger than we did the year before, which that year was huge with Truckapalooza and all the stuff we did this year. I think the layout was nice. Daniel did it very well organizing it this year.
Daniel Lazo, our new senior community engagement coordinator.
Fantastic job from Daniel. And so we had Truckapalooza again. We had, Mayor Curtis read, books to all the kids, a little story time hour, which was great. I mean, all the kids.
That was really one of my favorite moments.
No, we have your favorite moment on video, which was the Brazilian samba dancing.
Yeah.
You were out there
I thought it was going to
leading.
be the competition on the leaf blowers.
That was pretty good, too.
I thought
I'm so glad you mentioned Community Appreciation Night because this, again, smile on the face, right? The kids come out and touch the trucks.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun.
It was. Yeah, the leaf blower races were fantastic. Just a great time. We had the Jumbotron was there.
Jumbotron was there in all its glory.
It was.
and the business pop-up.
Business pop-up
we had
was
a ton of business
fantastic.
booths.
Great
local
food vendors.
And because that it rained, the fire folks had to go to
They did have to go to a call.
Yeah, they couldn't.
So
do the
they
ladder.
came back and then they launched the little smoke jumpers
Uh-huh.
off the
The
Little
parachute guys.
parachute
toys. Yeah.
So they're launching the smoke jumpers right near where the mayor's giving the story time. I think it happened. It was just magic land for children. Yeah. It was magic land for children. It was so great.
Wow.
Now I was a little, I'm not going to say worried that some of my video dancing with the Brazilian.
You were putting on quite the show.
I was wondering that it might go viral on,
I'd say we were worried about the amount of traffic that was going to come into our YouTube, so we didn't publish that video. We didn't want to take down the servers.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have the best rhythm in the world. I guess that's my point.
But
I
to the
tried.
samba dancers' credit, they taught you how to move.
They did teach me how to move.
No, it was fun. You had a lot of families out there moving and dancing, and the kids were enjoying it too. So even though there was a little rain, I'd say it didn't dampen the spirits.
This is another one. We do it every year. You guys, you got to come out and see us. At community, City Hall for All.
Yeah, for welcoming week.
Yeah. David, what do you got?
Well, on the topic of families, I think for me, one of the big highlights for making at least work for the city and our supporting the families of our employees.
Yes.
Really big initiative. So the city partnered with Lake Washington Institute of Technology to launch a childcare initiative. And so just a really great program as part of kind of the benefit package for all city employees.
Yes.
To get access to really high quality childcare because it is just such a challenge in our region. I mean, nationally, really, just like the expensive and unavailability. That's how you say that word.
That's right.
The importance of good childcare leading to positive health outcomes. Such a good pronunciation. Anyway,
It's all part of the same family.
just wait. I'll get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just think it's such a way that the city is modeling being a really people-oriented employer.
It's so important
I
to rise to the level
exactly
of the challenges of the modern workforce.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know, in my mind, it's like, hey, if we attract and retain top talent, then
Boom.
we're serving our community all the better.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a need, and we pride ourselves of being creative and cutting edge as a city. We have a really innovative cutting edge health system for our employees. We have our own
award-winning,
clinic,
I think,
award-winning system. And this is in that kind of whole family of thinking. And hopefully it pans out so that folks recognize they have more options.
Exactly.
Critical options. And as a corollary, I got the privilege of working on a similar proposal for our boards and commissions.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so if you want to join a board or commission and you have childcare needs, we have a stipend now. We have a stipend program for that.
Yeah, really just kind of lowering those barriers
Yeah.
to both working at the city, as I mentioned, but also just serving in a volunteer role on a board and commission.
Well, and I think our council talks about that a lot, right? Like they say that is
Huge
something that
council
is
priority.
so important to just remove those barriers of entry into local government engagement.
Huge
And
council
this does that.
priority. And another priority has been our DEIB stuff, our diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging initiatives. Erica Mascora runs that for the city. And one thing that jumped out for me is our continued work with the Minority and Women-Owned Business Certification Series.
Oh, yeah, second year for that,
Second year
right?
for that, where we've partnered with the state to really promote how businesses can get certified, minority and women-owned businesses can get certified, and be part of the city's system of accounting for how many contracts we have and making sure that everybody's aware of those opportunities to help diversify and promote our business practices, contracting into the community. These are really important things, and the state has the infrastructure already set up. So part of the real cool thing about this initiative is that we're leveraging resources that have already been put into place to try to enhance them and make them better. That's a big one for me.
Yeah, very smart, very smart. Yeah, and I guess the other thing that's coming to mind in that vein is the Kirkland Cares
This is such a
low-income
great
support program.
another council priority.
Yeah, big time. Council set aside, over $500,000. I think it was like $600,000. So this is really to give discounts on utility rates, pet licenses, business licenses, annual vehicle registration, and other city services and fees for those in our community that are earning kind of below a certain threshold. Yeah. And so it's really intended, obviously things are, I was just talking about how childcare is really expensive. Like there's just a lot of, things out there in the community that cost money. And so this is just a way to make sure that, Kirkland can still be accessible for people of all income levels.
Yeah. We don't want costs to, push people out of the city or make it prohibitive.
Yeah. So the idea of finding these kind of cutting edge approaches to rising to the level of the challenges before us. This is also in that family of things. Very proud of that work. 2024, sowing the seeds for bigger and better things into the future.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's pretty comprehensive. We went through a few things.
Yeah, just a little bit.
We didn't talk sports or anything.
And no time.
I was hoping to touch on the World Series.
Not a lot of sports happened in 2024, Jim. We don't need to talk about them at all.
Anytime the New York Yankees find their way into the World Series, and
I don't remember.
Don't make it.
Oh,
I remember Aaron Judge won the MVP. I don't remember anything after that.
Can I just tell you, I know it's not a sports show, and we're going to move on, but I did reminisce a little bit this morning and did a little research on, because I was so interested in the results of this year's World Series.
Yeah.
I went back to 1995.
I was a wee pup then.
Went back to 1995.
1995?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
When the this amazing group of baseball players in the city of Seattle rose to the level to take down the New York Yankees.
I like how we're phrasing the Yankees as the evil empire from Star Wars. Thank you.
And if you go down, so this was the big unit. Edgar Martinez, Tino, Ken Griffey Jr., one of the great baseball players of all time. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I had some fun doing some research.
95. This was
95.
right before the dynasty started, for the record. Anybody that follows baseball, 97,
well played,
98,
Anthony.
99.
Well played, my friend. Well, they took him down that year.
Yeah, well.
So that was my little through line.
Okay.
I got there to the World Series in 2024.
All right.
Because I am a Red Sox fan.
You are
And,
a Red Sox fan.
We'll see. Baseball is such a fun way for our community to share history
It is. A lot of moves being made this offseason, too.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to see what the 2025 season has in store.
We'll see.
Hopefully the Mariners are decent.
Nate.
Nate is shaking his head.
Us Mariners fans have been very disappointed to see the lack of moves the team has made over the offseason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nate and I were sharing some fun stories. Can we share those stories on the air, Nate?
Absolutely.
Because my understanding is that your mom is a big Mariners fan.
She is a Mariners super fan. If
super
the Mariners are playing, she is watching.
And she has a few bobblehead dolls.
She has the largest personal bobblehead collection I've ever seen. Now, I'm sure there's someone in our great community who's got more than her, but
Run for the money right there.
they need a lot of space to house this collection.
Now, we had some fun because my mom and my aunt are huge Red Sox fans. It sounds like that your mom similarly has a very high standard of excellence for your teams.
She does have a high standard of excellence, but she's happy to just be watching baseball.
Is she a realist? A Mariners realist?
She thinks that you should be grateful to watch baseball regardless of whether they win or lose, and will quickly accuse you of being a fair weather fan.
Oh,
I like your
love
mom.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe we'll have your mom on the show.
She would be happy to come on.
Yeah, that
and
would be fun.
Talk
So
about the Mariners.
she watches baseball as a pastime, as it's intended to be.
It borderlines on a religious devotion.
Yes. I have to
Sounds like more
say,
like a full time.
we have that in common because one of the things I truly do enjoy the most in life is exchanging texts with my mom and my aunt about sports. It's a wonderful
That's
thing.
amazing.
We have a lot of fun. And on that wonderful note of gratitude, thank you, Nate, and Nate's mom. Thank all of you,
Absolutely.
our listeners to the This Week in Kirkland podcast. You are a wonderful group, and we are so appreciative of you. We wouldn't be here without you.
Not at all.
That is true.
That's a fair statement.
Don't forget to plan ahead. On and off ramp closures at 85th Street.
Yeah, information in the show notes. And that does it for this week, my friends. You've been listening to This Week in Kirkland. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Special thanks to Kate Ryan, Nate Gettleman, and Mike Connor for their behind-the-scenes magic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next episode is January 9th. Until then,
Stay connected,
Kirkland.